The videos, 1 3 2 1. All right, I'm live. Can you see or hear me? Yeah, no, I'm not getting any memos to sign. All right, put up a note. No, put up a note, Tom. There's no show tonight. This, yeah, but this is terminal. I don't know anything else to do. I cannot get anything in the tray. I cannot see you. I mean, you could maybe launch a show, but you can't schedule it now. Oh, wait a minute. We're getting. Hang on a second, Jim. Let me know if you can hear me. We have serious technical issues tonight, and Michelle, let me know. I don't think we're going to be able to do the show because I don't have John. I don't have any media in the tray. But if you can hear me, Michelle says I see you. Can you hear me, Michelle? All right, John. You could dial in with the guest code. But that's what you were trying to do, right? Try start over. Okay, this could be a terminal show. I apologize, but we have had a terrible time with Facebook tonight, so I don't know if we're going to be able to pull off the show. I don't see any of my guests, and I don't see John. Now, apparently you guys can hear me and see me. Yeah, Rhonda says you can hear me and see me. Apologize to the insurance agency. I know you must be new and looking forward to it, but we don't have anything there. I'm waiting for John to call in. If I cannot see John, then we're probably going to terminate the show. We're live here. Yep. You can hear and see me, but apparently in trying to troubleshoot the issue with BeLive and Facebook, it wiped out everything that I had prepared for the show tonight. So my gut feeling is to cancel it. Let me see if John dials in here. And you folks are on board, but I don't have my guest who may be having problems getting in here. So I do not want to tie you up if we cannot have an effective show. So it looks like everybody can see and hear me, but the problem is Facebook has either wiped out all of my images on a reboot and clearing the cache, so I don't have the materials for the show. So bear with me. Yes, sir. We are live and people can see us, but I don't have a guest and I don't have you. Hello? Yeah. No, I can't, John. No, I'm getting an echo and a feedback on my computer. Yeah, and everybody on the show can hear me loud and clear. But I can't see you, and I can't hear you. Yeah, but I don't have a guest. Let me see if that works there. Hang on, folks. We're gonna try an altercation there. So, all right, John, talk and let's see if they can hear you. John? John, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. John, Mike Sokol says, I feel your pain. Yeah. Well, it's been almost 3 years and 3 months and nothing there.
Yep. I'm here.
You are. Can you folks hear John?
Okay.
No.
I'm good.
Are you seeing something that says you don't see anything, John, right?
There's quite a delay.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to put the audience through that, so I'll put up a notice that we had to cancel the show for technical reasons. We will reschedule it.
I see the show fine.
Everybody can see, yeah, but they apparently can't hear you. John should have,
I hear.
Mark Keff says, John should have the chopper sound behind him. He would be like the news reporter selling traffic. Attaboy, Mark. That's good.
Exactly.
And Ryan's on, and Maria's on, and
We can
Bill
still
Petrowski. Please don't bash the eye candy. I don't, you know, if I'm the eye candy, Philip, you're in trouble. Mark Polk is on, Audrey's on. Audrey says she can hear you. So, all right.
We can still do this.
We can still do this. All right, John, talk for a little while. Tell them about the show. I want to see if my guest emailed me.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is John DePietro. I'm on the phone. I'm not, you know, I know you're deeply disappointed that you can't see me, but I'm on the phone.
That may be a bonus.
It's about the funny thing is dealing with the delay, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done. And we had a guest scheduled, and we also wanted to give you all of the details, not just some of the details like the tease of last week, but all of the details of the New England RV and Camping Expo. So there's no way we can put the website up in front of you, but kind of write this down, folks. New England RV and Camping Expo. It is Saturday and Sunday, April 10th and 11th. And it's live and it's online, all online. Now, we're talking to consumers tonight, so here are a couple of very interesting aspects of it. The admission price is $20. Okay. Now, this is not a replacement for the Boston show, but keep one thing in mind.
Right,
$20, get the whole carload in.
Yeah, Bill Sell put up, I want to interrupt you there. Bill Sell put up the URL for the website, but you're right, $20.
Okay.
But.
Go ahead.
No, you might be able to get
$20 for the whole carload. So the thing is this, you go in on Saturday and you want to come back on Sunday, you come back on Sunday because you've already got your electronic ticket. And what you can do is take a look at the scheduling and tune in at certain times. And also keep in mind that there are 18 main stage seminars. That's 18, 1-8. Now, at the Boston show, maybe you had 5 a day, but that took you away from the show floor. What these seminars are allowing you to listen to them on replay over and over again during the weekend, and also spend time on the show floor. And on the show floor, there will be dealers, there will be suppliers, there will be campgrounds, and everything related to RVing that you may not have been able to get to in a physical show because, number one, there wasn't enough time in the day to do it, and number two, your legs were too tired. So you can go to this show while you're sitting down. Audrey, you can go to the show from the hot tub. And anybody else, no matter where you are, you can access it electronically. Now, keep in mind one thing. The name of the show is New England RV Camping and New England RV and Camping Expo. But the only New England part about it is that the New England dealers sponsor it. It's really a national show or an international show. So if you're in Canada and you want to find out about camping in New England, you can do that. If you're in California and you want to come to New England for the summertime, you can find out all of that information. And the beauty of it is that one ticket gets everyone in, and it's for both days. So with that being said, the website is there. You can buy tickets right now. As we speak, you can buy tickets. Now, if you're a dealer or a supplier and are interested in exhibiting, as many of them already have since we announced it just 2 days ago, there's a couple of different places that you can click on that website to find out more information, and we'll get back to you. The beauty of this show is this. The RVing public is hungry for information. And a lot of the seminars and workshops, there'll be seminars and workshops, all of about 20 to 25-minute duration. So they're not going to be those long hour-and-a-half presentations that have 5 minutes of material. I mean, we get to the point quickly with this. And a lot of the material is devoted to first-time RVers because they make up 50% of the new RVing public. And we'll also have several great seminars. And by the way, folks, we want to thank all of you that watched this show last week, because all of the suggestions that you put in, that you typed in, have been noted, and we are in the process of seeking regional and national experts on that topic.
Okay,
So,
Jessica has just sent me a message, and she also can see all the live on Facebook, but she's on the link that I sent her and can see nothing. Is there a different link? All right, I've got to respond to her.
yep.
This is not acceptable.
We should say that the show is normally sponsored by Lee's Family Trailers.
Right.
And they are this time too, but we're not going to charge them for it because it's not a complete show. But one of the things that you want to do is, if you're looking for a great RV, new or used, or parts or accessories, our friends at Lee's in Windham, Maine, will be able to satisfy your every need. So with that being said, I mean, they've got everything. They've probably got one of the largest towable fleets in New England, and the motorized fleet gets bigger and bigger each passing week. And the beauty of it is that they've gotten so well known in the industry that manufacturers are coming to them and giving them first crack at some of the new product that's coming out. So Lee's are our friends, and they can be your friends too. And I know Bob has sent many people of national notoriety to them. They've got their new units, and we'll be talking to them in the weeks and months ahead. So we've got 43 comments already. Let me see if I can read some comments.
But it's I cannot pull up graphics. I cannot pull up. I lost the agenda. I lost all the notes. My fault, folks. I apologize. We will reschedule. And Jessica, if you can hear me, we will reschedule you. But I don't want to put you through the pain of this all night. So this is the first time that we've canceled the show.
Comments here. Let's answer some of the questions that our audience is posing to us, because they are our audience, and they're the reason that we.
I can. Okay, I can. You talk there. I can look up here. I'm going to go right to the back of the top, so we'll just have a Q&A. Jim said they hear me. Michelle hears me. Jim hears me. Maria's here. Rhonda can see and hear. GHM Insurance. I'm going to guess that's a guest that maybe knows Jessica, and I apologize for the inconvenience for you. Michelle says, "What's the problem?" Too long to do on the phone, Michelle. Everything's the problem. Dante, Jim Conboy, Jim says, not seeing John is a lucky thing. Bill says, we see you. Martha Wentworth, just you and my wife. My wife disappeared quickly when she came into the room, Martha. So Tony says, I can hear and see you. How bad is it? That's John's not here. Michelle, it's a one-man show. Yeah. Bill says, wow, the world is turning on Johnny. Mike Sokol, feel your pain. Tony Barthel's on, and Tony's with Stressless Camping. If you follow that site, and I'm going to be doing a podcast with Tony on his show to talk about this is a place where you folks can help us. Tony wants me to come on to his podcast and talk about places that people want to go camping in New England. It has to be New England. So send me your favorite destinations and locations for New England. I'll make sure that we get those on the show with Tony when we scheduled there. And
well, Bob, one of the places that Tony can definitely talk about is Loons Haven up in the great state of Maine.
Yeah.
And we know that place.
Well,
and,
no, he's not going to talk about it. He's going to expect me to talk about it.
Oh, well, I mean, you do have to talk about.
Well, that would be on the list in Normandy, and and that goes for any place in New England. So, Rhonda, you got some down. I know Rhonda's got some favorite ones down there in Rhode Island, southeastern Mass.
Yeah. So while we have our audience on the phone, let's ask them again, like they did last week, if there is a seminar topic that you would like us to go in depth with. Type it in right now, and Bob is writing everything down because I can't see everything. So
we will do that too. Ryan's on. Bob Sandy Davidson. Yes. Okay. The problem, Mark and Michelle, is that we had I think it's my computer. It didn't when I booted it up tonight, it did not recognize any cameras at all. When I put on the Logitech, that didn't get recognized. So I was in touch with BeLive support, and we had to clear the cache, and clearing the cache wiped out everything in my tray. You know how during the show I put up pictures and videos and all that? It's disappeared. It's not off my computer. It's just off the tray. And if I wanted to take an hour, I could run out there.
The fact is, they've only worked once in 4 years. So,
right.
It's going the way. But we normally are able to salvage by 10.
Usually this is the first time in 4 years that we weren't able to pull it off by showtime. You're right.
Yep. Usually at 6:59 it all comes together. But Bob, let's tell people, reasons that they should consider either exhibiting in this event or definitely, absolutely, positively buying tickets.
Well, they should definitely touch base with their favorite campgrounds and give them the link that Bill Sell put up there. And all of that explains all of the intricacies of the show and the formats and what have you. And the campground sign-up form will be there probably tomorrow, although I don't know how much work I'll get done tonight, given this. But we want to structure it, and we decided to do it on a weekend so that you didn't have to try to do your work at home and watch us at the same time. The hosting will be John and myself and Billy McNamara, who I'm sure was going to join us tonight, but I don't see her on here. So she may have had a problem there. But we'll be kind of the on-face personalities. We'll moderate some sessions. We'll have some videos up in the beginning. Like I said, 18 significant main stage seminars. What, John?
We just saw our friends from Canada that said they're in Quebec, and let me make them feel welcome and say bonjour.
Oh, you're not going to
tell them everything I know in French. I know au revoir, bonjour, comment allez-vous, oui, no. I mean, you look at this is not just a New England show. Yeah, but this is an international show.
But can you sing Old Canada?
Oh, you don't want me. Do you want to see the look at? We know how many people are watching.
Oh, somebody
want to see that number go down drastically.
Somebody said you have a great radio voice, Mark Kep.
Yeah. I look better on the phone too, Mark. Yeah. So go ahead. You can say that. Oh, look at. They said Bob and Sandy said you are good. I'm très bien. Not only am I good, I'm très bien.
Okay, there's our guest. Jessica Ryder has just commented, and she said, sure. So it's unfortunate we can't see her, but we put her over. So she's over there with the rest of you guys. So if you read the promo and you have some questions for Jessica, who had a breakdown, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. She thought it was
not an RV breakdown.
No, not an RV breakdown, a human breakdown. And they thought it was a stroke, but after several days and a lot of dollars later, they couldn't figure it out. They never did figure out what was wrong with her. And she was a high-powered type A mortgage broker and consultant, and she was type A on steroids from what I read. And I did read her book, and reading the book, she had a very successful career, married, 2 dogs, no children, and she had to figure out what she was going to do with her life and get back on a track of eating healthy and enjoying nature. And they had camped before, So they've been camping, and she's got routines and checklists. The book is very interesting. It's only $2.99 on Kindle.
Well, maybe we should tell them the title of the book. It's called How Camping Saved My Life.
Right.
And the ebook edition is available now. I think go to howcampingsavedmylife.com, and you can find it that way. There, it's $2.99. It's ridiculously low price.
Yeah, that's a Kindle. Yeah, the Kindle's $2.99.
Just for this show only, sell it for $9.99 as a special bonus to our viewers.
And it's not a long book. It's a good short read, but very poignant and very truthful of what she went through. And they do.
So I did. Short attention span. The book is perfect for you.
Yeah, I did actually. I can sneak out every now and then and grab a picture. I did grab one picture just now. That's their rig, and that's a big rig for two people, right, Kevin? Kevin's on here tonight. Yeah. So that's their rig, and they go camping basically 4 days a week. So they'd like to call themselves weekend warriors. And on her website, which is pullthroughsites.com, you can buy the book, you can buy the mug, you can buy what she calls her little bag, small little plastics. Put things in when you're running out of the house and you're heading out to go camping.
Bob, hey, Mark said something. Mark Kepp said something good. Bob, merge Jessica on your phone call with John.
Oh, yeah. Let me see if she sent me her telephone number.
Okay. While Bob's trying to figure it out, I will tell you that Jessica and I met online. It was kind of like an online date where I made a presentation on public speaking to the RV Women's Alliance, and I offered a special bonus on. In fact, you know what, folks? I'll give this to you guys tonight as well. Okay. I did because we've spent so much time on Zoom in the past year. I put together a special, 7 or 8 minute video on how to make the most of your Zoom presentations so that you look professional and you're taken seriously. So if any of you want that, it's totally free. Just under here in the comments, just put Zoom presentation.
All right, hang on. I am going to try to add Jessica in. Boom. That's John.
Put down Zoom.
Add call.
And we'll send it to you.
Okay, I don't have her in my database, so.
Well, she can type it in.
Huh?
She's watching.
I got it from her text message. See, now you're unmasking my lack of skills here, Mark Kepp.
No, but Bob, here's what. Ask her, Jessica. Well, I'll ask her. Jessica, just type in your phone number under the messages down below, under the comments, and then Bob will call you, and we'll have a three-way call.
It's 314-640-6903, and okay, so I added her. I'm calling Jessica now. Is that you, Jessica?
That is me.
Okay, let me merge the calls. Okay, Mark Kepp, I owe you one, Mark Kepp. John, we have Jessica and John on the phone. So Jessica, I'll stop telling them about you, and you can tell them all about yourself. How's that?
Okay, and I do have you guys up on my computer, and I'm watching the comments as well. So,
great. So Jessica, don't listen to the computer because.
Yes, I might be on mute. I have the computer on mute.
Yeah.
All right,
Jessica, don't you want to begin by saying what a pleasure it is to meet me?
It is. You know what, John? Somebody said in the comments you have a voice for radio, and I agree. You're a very good speaker.
Well, I look pretty good too, because I'm much more than just a radio guy.
I am self-destructing here tonight. I don't know if you guys can see me, but my screen just went black.
We see you, Bob.
You
well,
see.
put it this way. I see you on delay.
Okay. Well, all right.
screen-
You two talk. You're a good interviewer, John. So yeah, you keep going.
So Jessica, you responded to my my offer for that free Zoom seminar. And then I said to you, tell me about your, because you put it under Jessica Ryder, pull through sites. And I said, tell me about your company. And you told me about it. But more importantly, you told me that camping saved your life. Give us a little bit about your background before the book came into play, because everybody likes to hear the backstory.
Yeah. So as Bob said, I was in the mortgage business for about 4 or 5 years. And I told Bob the other day, my phone never shut off. I would be on, the riverbank in the woods, whatever, when we did camp in a tent. And I never could shut it off. And that ultimately hurt my health. So much so that one evening I went to the ER thinking I was having a seizure, a stroke, something, because the entire right side of my body went numb at the age of 28.
28.
It started with a headache, and it just got worse from there. So I ended up in the ER after a weekend stay, and test after test after test, and they basically just said, we don't know what's wrong, but maybe you have complicated migraine. And as I wrote in the book, I said, I don't accept that. It's probably my type A personality, but how do I fix it? And when nobody could tell me how to fix it, I had to start finding answers myself.
Let me stop you let me ask you this, so you can tell our audience, because we do have a national audience. Tell us where you live, and tell us where you were when this medical issue took place, because some people might think that, if you were out in the middle of nowhere, in a small community hospital, they might not be qualified to tell you what it was, and why didn't you fly yourself to a major medical center? So tell us a little bit about where you were when this happened, and bring us up to date on how you found out that camping really saved your life.
Yeah, absolutely. So I live in St. Louis, and so I was actually home when this happened. We were not camping. And ultimately what I had to do was figure out how to relax. But camping in a tent is not relaxing. I don't know if you've ever done that, but it is not relaxing to me. So,
especially in a rainstorm.
Yes. And we had a 27-foot tent. So that was not easy to put up and down. But ultimately we had to get into camping in a way that was easy for me, and that meant a camper. And we are on our second camper, as Bob showed. That's our rig. And the picture he's got up there now on the screen, that my shirt says our camper sleeps two, because people ask us, they see a 40-foot Montana and they go, oh my gosh, how many does that sleep? And I'm like, 2, just 2. So that's where we're at now. But I had to recreate my lifestyle for weekend camping. And so, I tell a lot of people, they'll go out and they'll get a condo in Florida or Gulf Shores or wherever, and they're like, oh, condo's so great, a timeshare's so easy, I just walk in with my food. And I laugh and say, I do the same exact thing, only my condo sits on the side of my house and I can pull it to any lake I want to. Okay,
so Jessica, let me stop you for 1 second here. How long did it take before your body healed? In other words, that the paralysis went away and that you could regain any type of semblance, or were you down and out for an extended period of time?
No, I was down and out physically for just the weekend.
Okay.
They had given me enough, drugs and what have you, that I was back to normal as far as walking and things like that by the end of the weekend stay.
Okay.
But mentally, I was not okay.
Mentally, you weren't okay because you didn't know what was wrong, or you just knew something was wrong. But when did you tie it into I've got to cut the corporate cord, or I've got to cut the phone cord, or I've got to throw my cell phone into the lake and disconnect. Because, here's the crazy thing is, and then I'll shut up, is that there are people that one of the biggest necessities of RVers today is connectivity, when in fact you're going away to unwind, but you've got to be connected in order to unwind. When did you find out that camping was your medicine that you needed?
So within a year of that happening, I completely changed jobs, completely changed our financial situation in my home. And within 2 years of that happening, we had our first camper. So
okay. So it wasn't an overnight.
We did not go out and buy
decision.
a camper the next day. We are very stubborn, my husband and I, and we refused to pay personal property taxes for the longest time. But we finally gave in and said, you know what, if camping is the answer, and I like nature and I want to do it more, it can't be in a tent. So we finally gave in and went and bought our first camper.
Okay. So now are you feeling better?
How big was it?
I don't mean now as we speak, but now are you feeling better when you got out of the tent and into something a little bit more?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we tented it for 7 years, and that was 7 years too long, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you're still married.
Time out.
Oh, still married. Yeah, we'll be 14 years this year.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Okay. We hear you.
Okay, I want to take a time out because Jody Turntine says her puppy says hello in the background. No, Jody, that's my puppy in the background. But let me tell you, I want to tell a story. When I was talking to Jessica this week, I asked her where she lived, and she said St. Louis. And I said, are you near? And I remember the name of the town. But for you folks who've been longtime listeners, you'll probably remember Jim Turntine, who was on with us a year ago, who has developed the RV Self Park right outside of St. Louis. So if any of you are listening and you remember that show, just type in yes. Because believe it or not, after we found Jessica, tell them the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say.
Yeah, so Jody Turntine that just commented is actually Jim's niece. And Jody is my stepmom. So that's how I know Jim pretty well. And Jim's actually going to be on our YouTube channel within the next couple of weeks. I interviewed him just about the industry and how it has changed last year into this year.
Wow, that's wild. We say that it's a big industry, and it is. But everybody knows everybody. And now we're getting to the point that campers know campers. And, campers have friends all over the country because they bump into them at the campground. And they hit it off. And, every year they'll go back and meet people at the same place at the same time. The funny thing here with this show is now we got Sandy Ellison having a side conversation asking Turntine, how's the park doing?
Right. So let me read Frank Cates. If you folks don't see Frank Cates, Frank's a regular. He says, I wasn't in real estate, but 20 years in the auto insurance appraisal business. It gave me real serious medical issues, including ulcers. So being keyed up at the time isn't healthy. All the time isn't healthy. Thanks for telling it like it is, Jessica. So you got another fan right there.
Well,
and that's why the book is so short, because I tell it like it is. I just get straight to the point.
Yeah, and you got a few salty words in there too.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I blame that on my husband.
But you're a type A personality, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Here's another interesting aspect of COVID is that because people can work from their home and don't have to commute 2 hours in the morning, their body clock remains the same. They'll still get up at 5:30 in the morning instead of leaving at 6:30 and getting into the office at 8:30. They'll get up at 5:30. They'll be at the computer at 6:30, and they'll stay on it sometimes without taking a break in the morning. They probably won't go out to lunch, so there's no hour and a half away. They might eat a sandwich while they're online. And then at 5 o'clock at night, the quote unquote normal quitting time, they'll throw something down to eat. And then rather than put on TV, they'll come back on the computer and stay on the computer till 8 o'clock at night. So instead of having a 4-hour commute, now they have put 14 hours into their day, and they'll attempt to fall asleep and not be able to do so. Do you think you found yourself, Jessica, in that position?
Oh, definitely. When I was and I didn't turn it off even when we did go camping. I can't tell you how many, napkins from our truck console that I took mortgage loan applications on, because we were out camping, we were out traveling or doing whatever. And, I never turned it off.
And mortgage apps meant money. So you weren't going to say, no, I'll talk to you Monday. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you got your act together.
You know what I did? And the whole point behind the book is just, this is how you could make getting into nature easy for you. Because if it's not easy, nobody's going to do it.
Well, one of your quotes in the book, Jessica, says, "I'm not letting in a single moment of negativity. After you spend time in nature and realize that you are a minute speck in the entire universe, you connect with what truly matters." That was an interesting statement, because you're right. The nature part doesn't change. The lands are the same, the rocks and the mountains. Talk about that a little bit, because that was an interesting part in the book.
I think when you get out and Sandy had made the comment that, it kills her that people get out for a weekend and they have to have, their Wi-Fi or their satellite and all that. But when you turn all that stuff off and you actually get into nature and you start listening to everything that's out there, the squirrels, the birds, the trees, you realize that there are millions of living things all around you, and you're just a very small speck in all of that. And you actually don't truly matter to all of that. All of that still lives, whether you're there or not. So you can continue to go back to the same spots, and we go back to the same spots consistently. And I still find new things, because new things have grown, now there's deer running over here, or now there's fish in this spot and there wasn't fish before. Nature continues to be there and revive itself if you just stop and listen.
How important was walking? You mentioned walking several times in the book, and what it does for you. But you had another quote there that said, "If Aristotle, Dickens, and Einstein all walk daily, there has to be something in it." So talk about the walking aspect of it.
So I think for me, when people say, "Oh my gosh, you get into nature," they immediately think that I'm like backpacking on a 15-mile hike through, some backcountry wilderness. And that's not how I started. I knew I needed to turn everything off and get out of the camper and just get out, get into nature. I started with just walking around the campground and saying hi to people. And then I would find a trail. And then, all of a sudden I come back and the dogs and I have now walked 7 miles across the dry area of the lake and through trails and everything else, just because I started walking. But
now,
I didn't,
Jessica, do you have real dogs? Do you have real dogs, or not the kind that Zagami has? Those little, those little wind-up toys that you get at a carnival. What kind of dogs you got?
I have a Dachshund and a Saint Bernard. Yes, and they are.
Wait. And the Dachshund runs the show, right?
He does not run the show anymore, just because he's old, but he did for the longest time.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen that are in our audience, have you ever heard of anybody that's had both a Dachshund and a Saint Bernard at the same time? I don't know if that's humanly possible. Now, let me ask one other question here, because you talked about the solitude of the woods, and I see Don Barone has checked in and wrote a comment. Don, if you would just, Don spent many, many years in the high-pressured world of network TV at ESPN. And Don, tell us, just write it down in the comment down below, if you find magic in the woods, and with the noise of solitude, is that something that is possible to have? The sounds of solitude, or as my friends Simon and Garfunkel said, the sounds of silence. And any of you else that are watching us, that do you get magic just being away from it all, or walking and hearing a waterfall not too far away?
Well,
what does it do for you?
If I can stop you there, John, for a minute, one of the other things that Jessica mentions in the book, and I think this is profound when you look at the way we bring kids up these days, she said, it is probably a good thing I was able to play outside as a kid and problem solve on my own. And I think many of us on here were of that vintage where you did go outside a lot and you figured out how things worked, and you went in the woods not knowing where you were going to come out, and you climbed rocks not knowing if you're going to fall off the mountain. Speak to that, Jessica, and why that's important. And do you think that the current generation of kids are going to figure that out for themselves, given the lifestyles and the way they're brought up these days?
I think it's very interesting. So I grew up playing outside. That's what we did. We figured it out. We played outside, and we just went about our day. But I think there's so many things that you learn on the playground. There's so many things. We camp with friends that their moms and dads say, look, don't go past 10 campers down, and stay out of everybody's stuff. And we also camp with friends that don't let their kids out of their sight. And what I find is that, the people that let their kids at least explore a little bit, those kids come back with so many stories and adventures. Yep. And, just a much better time. And I think we're seeing with the rise of Generation Z that are, buying the camper vans now and jumping out into nature, and even, the younger millennials, they realize that they just don't want to be tied down to anything.
And they don't want to be they don't want to be in a campground either.
Right. They want to boondock. They want to, and so I think that there's a certain segment of the population of those generations that want to do that, and then you have people on the entire different side of those generations that want nothing to do with outside and couldn't problem solve if you asked them to.
Right, because they never had.
Let me stop and say this: is that if you just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, and you see that our format is a little bit different than normal, it's because we are making the best of a technical situation that still allows us to bring our guest Jessica Ryder on, the author of How Camping Saved My Life. And we should also tell you that this show, which is a great show, by the way, we've got over 100 comments.
Yeah.
100 comments.
Yeah, we don't get that when everything goes perfect.
Family camping sales. And you know what? They're in Windham, Maine. If you don't know where Windham, Maine is, it's just outside of Portland, Maine. And when they have open houses, sometimes they have lobster rolls. Now, normally they have hot dogs, but sometimes they have lobster rolls. But I'm sure that if you went up there and bought an RV in the next couple of weeks and told Dan that you watched the show here, you heard about them here on RVing in New England, that Dan would probably throw in a gift certificate for a lobster roll somewhere. So, Bob, do you want to get into some of these comments here? We're also a great comment here. Dante's got one.
Yeah, let me work backwards from the bottom. Dante says, we hung in the woods at the time, camped every night in the summer, hunted and fished. There were 6 of us that are still very close 56 years later. Yep. Walter says all our grandkids would rather be outside all the time in all the weather. And speaking about Walter posed, I thought he was had typed the wrong number yesterday. Walter typed in that he had walked 23,000 steps. So I was sure that he had actually typed in the wrong way. But then a little bit further up, I noticed that that was an actual number, and he thinks he walked about 10 miles while he was snowblowing his property.
But in his lifetime.
Yeah, no, he did it all in one day. All right, Don says, I did a story where the kids were sitting on a couch playing a video game of being outside I get, or being outside when the real outside was just on the other side of the TV. Trying to get kids inside the outside is tough. That's a very very good point, Don. And that's the concern when you see Jessica's comment there about, and that's why we all like it. You know, you go over the bridge and everything is fine. You go down the Cape and go to the bridge, everything is fine. You mentally prepare for a different adventure when you're on the way to the campground or wherever you're going.
Yeah, yeah. I get it, Bob. When I go to Maine and I'm driving over that bridge in the New Hampshire to Maine bridge, because it means most of the traffic jams from Massachusetts are behind you when you go over that bridge. That Piscataway River, is that what it is?
Piscataway, yeah.
And everybody, who's listening that's been to Cape Cod, when we are halfway over that Bourne Bridge, and David Majors will know what I mean, and certainly Jerry will know what I mean.
Yeah.
When you're halfway over that bridge and you see that rotary with the shrubbery that says "Welcome to Cape Cod," everybody says that their blood pressure kind of goes down.
I think they changed, John. They changed that a couple of weeks ago. It says "Welcome, Bob and John" now.
Oh,
I think any campers truly have that. I mean, we have the same thing. We get out of traffic and get about 15 minutes outside of the actual kind of suburb cities and on our way to our campgrounds. I mean, we get the same thing. It's just like your shoulders drop. You just know.
Yep. You're right. And I get it. I'll tell you this, and then I'm going to shut up for a while. I get it. Even when we're stuck in traffic on 495 or on I-95, when I'm in that RV, you're sitting higher than the rest of the crowd, than the cars. And even if we're going slow, I know that if it gets too crazy, I can pull over at the next rest stop or the next exit. So you don't stress. And I think everybody will agree. There's something about being in that RV, even if you're pulling a fifth wheel, and you're in that pickup truck, you know that you can pull over at any time and go in the back and kick out and relax.
Yep. So. And for us, we have to. I always have to have snacks for my husband because he gets a little cranky. I'm not gonna lie, in traffic. So I just bring plenty of snacks, and we eat and we laugh and we go right on through.
Can you eat a whole bag of Cape Cod chips at once?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I shouldn't, but I can.
Yeah.
So Sandy says she walks. She says she walks back and forth to the coffee pot at least 6 dozen times a day. Does that count?
Hey, Bob, read the back and forth going between Barone and Jessica. You read that?
I don't. I see he says interesting.
Jessica, grandparents are the key with getting the kids outdoors. That's true.
That is absolutely true.
And Billy says you haven't seen Maine yet. If you're camping and you haven't seen Maine, you haven't seen America.
Right. And
I agree, Billy. I'm coming. I just have to get somebody to get off work and long enough to get up there.
All right, that somebody must be you, Rusty. So you better figure out how to get that Montana up to Maine. So Billy, I have to
get a smaller camper that I just pull myself.
Oh, well then, and then you can
join girl
camper, right?
Leave Rusty home. Bob, there we go.
Yeah,
she should join girl camper.
Definitely.
And Janine will teach her how to drive it. And I thought Rusty was one of the dogs. No. Actually, Jessica, at the very end of the book, and let me apologize to Billy for it. Billy's part of our team for the New England RV and Camping Expo, and I asked her to join in around 7:45 tonight to talk about the show. But Billy, we're gonna keep this going. We were delayed horribly in the beginning, so we'll get you back on next week. We're going to start. I will tell you that if things work right going forward between now and April 10th and 11th, the show is going to be an hour, but we're going to do our guest for 45 minutes. And we're going to do 15 minutes
on the Expo every week. We'll be updating you on the speakers, the sessions, the sponsors that are coming on board, and the like. But let me go back to my point, Jessica. At the very end, one of your desires going forward is to build something, and or buy something. What would you like to buy or build? Which is, by the way, the name of Mark Kemp's conference a couple of weeks ago, Buy, Build, or Sell, that he did for people who want to buy campgrounds or want to sell campgrounds or want to build campgrounds. And what do you want to do, Jessica?
And by the way, the sell, not build, sell either.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jessica.
So ultimately, later this year or 2022 goal is to buy some land here in Missouri, and I'm calling it a little boutique campground, but it's going to be a place where women like me, type A, or young families that have never been into camping, they can actually come and stay in an RV. You know, we'll have several different types of RVs there, and you can come and stay and really get a good feel for what camping is and what it's all about before they go, you know, get lost in the whole, I want to buy an RV and I'm in 15 Facebook groups and I don't know what to do. You know, I was just looking at one today that, you know, they were going between a Grand Design and something else. And I thought, honey, you've got 5 different types of things there. Let's help you decide exactly what you want your camping experience to look like. So I want to get more people into nature. And if I can do that by having a small campground and helping people get there and understand what it's all about, that's what I want to do.
Very interesting. So Tony says, I put that on the stressless camper. See, I'm missing everything in between here. Billy says, everyone go to, that's the New England RV and Camping Expo, to get info on that, on the Expo. Yeah, we've had that up, and Bill put that up earlier, Billy, so we'll have that, and we'll add it again at the notes.
Bob, what I see Mark Kemp was the one who was smart enough to tell you to bring Jessica.
Where's Jessica in? Right.
But you know, there might be other people out there that want to own a campground, and if they want to find out all about it, certainly one of the seminars that we'll be talking about is how to own a campground that we'll have on our series. But if they want to, right at 8:01 tonight when we're done, go to Outdoor Business Pros, Outdoor Business Pros, PROS.com. They can see the seminar that Mark just completed last week. In fact, you and I are one of the people that are one of the top seminars there. And I think some of those seminars are still, I'm not sure, they might be available. If you're still there, tell us if those presentations are still available for
I think they can sign up now for them, and they'll be on. And then if you're thinking something that you might want to think about, Jessica, is that he has an ongoing program for $200 a month for consulting for people that want to start to build or buy or sell campgrounds. So we'll give Mark a little plug there, seeing that he was kind enough to whack me on the side of the head and say, hey, why not merge those 2 phone calls together? That'd be clever.
But Bill Sell just wrote you a note, and you're probably doing it, not knowing it, but really rustling paper.
The paper, yep.
Across the keyboard.
Yep.
I'm just making noise.
Yes, I'm guilty of that too.
You are guilty of that too.
Yep.
So,
let's see. Can I do anything else wrong tonight? Let me see. Let me try real hard.
Mark Kemp wrote this. Yes, people can still access content. Ladies and gentlemen, there's 51 training sessions about anything about operating a campground. If you want to buy one, if you want to build one, or if you want to sell one, this is a phenomenal free offer. Okay, it's not free. But wait a minute, we got to. But you can look for it now. But wait, ladies and gentlemen, that's not it. You'll get a second opportunity, absolutely free. Just pay separate shipping and handling. Just go to outdoorbusinesspros.com, and don't you love those information? But wait, there's more. if you buy now during this special overpriced offer, we'll give you another one. We'll give you another totally useless product, absolutely free. Just send us $30 so we can ship it to you. By the way, it's a virtual product. So anyway, that's that. We should give her that title again, right, Bob? The title of the book.
Title of the book is, where is it? I got it.
How camping
saved my life. I could put it back up there. Yeah.
You know,
go to
getting rich because of the people that are
go to pullthroughsites.com and you can order it right there on the site.
Yeah. Now look at Barone's trying to do an online dating. He says, Jessica, friend me so we can keep in touch. What the hell is going on, Barone? Wait a minute. He said he's been married 45 years. And now he's trying to pick on somebody half his age. Jessica, he has daughters older than you.
Oh man. How old do you think I am now?
Well, according to the book, you're still in your 30s.
Yes, I am.
So
Mom, if you're moving papers around the phone, it's affecting the audio. See, Audrey said it, and Bill yelled at you too.
I know.
Tommy, get those papers away. Okay, John
well,
Barone, mute John, please. Barone, let me tell you one thing right now. If it wasn't for me, Zagami was ready to bag this show at 6:50. At 6:50 p.m. We've got 140 comments. It's one of our highest.
Right, highest number of comments. Right. Yeah.
The only thing that I'm concerned with is that people are still sticking around and they can't see me. I'm shocked that that's happening.
Yeah, but look at the alternative. How much better off they are with the alternative.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You know?
So let's go back into. We've given Jessica's book many times. Jessica, you're more than welcome to stay with us.
Wait, Mark Kev says planning. Looking for a speaker. Planning the ultimate RV trip. I know a speaker. Oh, I'll bet you do. We'll be talking what? Yeah, we're probably not going to talk late this week. We'll be talking early next week, Mark, on that other stuff. Walter Burns says, how many dealers and accessories and training providers? Still too early. They're just getting their packages, and we're just putting the finishing touches on the sponsorship package. But don't worry about them, Walt Burns. Worry about yourself and make sure that Easy Care is one of the sponsors at the event. So we got to turn that one around on you. Another thought, John and Don, just occurred to me. Jessica is not even half as old as John or Bob or Don. You realize that?
So what are you saying? What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm just counting numbers. If she's in her 30s, then, you know.
That's longevity for the camping industry, right?
That's right. It's our maturity, our expertise, our good looks, our knowledge. I mean, there's a lot of things thrown in that year.
Zagami's never been luckier in the last 3 years that he can hog the whole camera himself.
Yeah.
For this show.
And you mentioned COVID. You mentioned COVID earlier. So I won't roll up my sleeve and show you my Band-Aid over my COVID shot, but I got my COVID vaccine today. In and out in 20 minutes. Well, harmless.
You didn't pass out or anything?
Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, nothing like that.
Well,
I didn't even feel it.
It must have had some impact because you forgot how to run the show.
Well, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was the vaccine.
Memory issues.
Hey, yeah, maybe I can blame it all on the vaccine. Yeah.
Maybe some memory issue side effects to that you can't run Facebook.
So I got another quote that I pulled out of the book because Jessica's already told you she's type A, she's hyper, but now she's into nature and she relaxes and she goes camping. But I think she wanted this for people who are reading the book. She says, lastly, I am not some happy hippie in the woods on the weekend and a badass businesswoman during the week. Right, Jessica?
That is right. Yeah, I merged the two.
You found a way to merge the two. And you got some systems. I mean, you got some routines that you go through to get yourself into that. Right. I thought they were interesting. Number one, you don't ever leave the house dirty because you don't want to come back to a dirty house.
Right.
You do tell us what you do with the meal planning and getting the meals and stuff ready.
So what I found, yeah, absolutely. I cannot stand to come home to a dirty home. So I will make sure like the dishes are done, the floor swept. I also, I want to stay at the campground as long as I possibly can. So we don't typically get home any later than about 7 o'clock on Sunday. So I want to make sure that I have food ready for the week, so I don't have to worry about it. So like I'll get my groceries the Thursday before we leave, and I'll make a couple of meals so that when I get home on Sunday, we just walk back in, plug the camper into the house, keep it rolling, and we just walk in and go to bed, and then we're ready for Monday.
So basically, you're neurotic on Wednesday and Thursday.
Basically, no, I wouldn't say I'm not neurotic at this point anymore. In the beginning, yes, but now I have pretty much under system.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let me see, Chris. We got Chris Andro on tonight. Thank Chris. I missed you earlier on the notes. Thank you for joining in. We're getting kind of close to the waking hour, and I almost feel obligated to go an extra 15, but we don't do that for our guests. We try to end. So any last minute questions for Jessica? Anything about the show that we may have missed? More importantly for Jessica, seeing that we had to deal with some glitches there in the beginning. Sandy Ellingson says we get our new rig soon and are heading north towards Maine. We hope to travel slow enough to avoid the snow. See you soon through Mainers. When are you going to get to Maine? You're going to get to Maine before the summer? I mean, that's not bad. We like it 12 months a year. But when do you anticipate getting to Maine? Because John and I are very busy, Sandy, so we'll have to try to work our social calendars to make sure we can fit you in. Anybody there?
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. Well, Bob, she's probably typing.
Yeah.
She's probably typing.
Well, I thought you'd pick it up and say something. It's very seldom that your tongue is tied and you say nothing, John.
And I was just being polite, unlike who try to hog the microphone as well as the camera. And tonight you successfully hugged the camera. Hogged the camera.
Okay, now this may have been one of the side conversations that I missed, but Don Barone says, Jessica, we can help kids fishing through our Kids Fishing nonprofit. And you get the URL there. Use it for your campground when you open this. Don does a tremendous job raising money through auctions and auctioning off fishing gear, and donates it to Tackle the Storm Foundation. And he started that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Don, I'm probably got it mixed up, but because of the devastation of some tornadoes several years ago, and that it destroyed houses, destroyed communities, and he started this foundation to raise money so that he could go back into those communities and take the kids fishing. Because for the same reasons that Jessica talked about, the enjoyment in being outside in nature, doing things and relaxing, Don does that now when there's hurricanes and tornadoes. So I give him a big plug, and he's made a lot of kids happy that if they look behind them, they didn't see their home anymore and the roads were torn up and what have you. But he takes them and makes sure they get down to the pond or the lake and go fishing.
Yeah, well, the truth of the matter is he won the Megabucks lottery in Mississippi, and in order not to pay taxes, he started a nonprofit foundation, which he funnels his money through that, and gives 10% of it to charity, and just mooches the rest without paying taxes on it.
Oh, John, that's horrible. It's funny, but it's horrible.
Okay, so
kudos to Don if that's how he works it. Kudos to him.
All right, Lisa Tabacoli, and that's another new name to us. So thanks for joining us, Lisa. But she's got an interesting question. Will Jessica be speaking at the Girl Camper Expo? I don't know. Bill Sell might know. If they get a cancellation, maybe she can. But Bill Sell, who is putting on the New England, he's managing and producing the New England RV and Camping Expo. He is also producing the the National Girl Camper Expo, which is coming up in March. So we'll be watching to see that. It'll be successful, very successful. But we can certainly let we'll let Janine know. What's that, Bill? John?
I told her last week she's got to join Girl Camper, because if she wants to do that at campground where she brings the women in,
yep,
you got to join Girl Camper, because that is America's premier place for women to mingle.
Yeah, and they look for they look for campgrounds where they can have rallies, or they have they're starting to have state directors now. So the state directors will be having rallies within their states and the like. So that'll work out well. And then Sandy says we hope she is coming to the Girl Camper Jamboree. Now that's later on in the year. I think that is October. But all that information is on girlcamper.com. And I would type it in, but that part of my system is also not functioning tonight. All right, we are
That's all right.
That one I believe is, Sandy, correct me, I think the Girl Camper Jamboree, if we're talking about the same one, that is in May. There might be one in October as well.
No, I think the May one was rescheduled to October.
Gotcha.
Yeah, October. Yeah, she just posted October 14 to 17, and that's in Florida. On that, that's a new campground down there too. And Mr. Swenson says Type A's in this that includes us guys. Type A's never slow down, even listening to nature. Trust me, that's Walter. Well, I think Jessica would probably take you up and argue that point, Walter. She's found a way to do it. The fact that you and I and John can't figure it out is, a male weakness, I guess.
We even have COVID. Sandy Ellison is doing all our graphics here for us, and that wasn't planned either. So thank you, Sandy, for doing what Bob can't do.
What'd she do? I didn't see it.
All the details of the Girl Camper thing.
Oh yeah, that's not graphics. That's text.
From May to October because of COVID.
Right. Yeah, that's text.
Basically, Zagami has done nothing on this show.
I was worthless tonight. God bless it.
Thank goodness that you showed up, and Billy would have been fine, and we wouldn't really have even needed Bob.
Right. So welcome to the John, Mark, and Billy show.
We've moved throughout the years. We've done shows without him, and those are some of our higher ranking shows without Zagami.
How many comments are there? I can't see that.
But we've got 156 comments.
That may be an all-time record. That may be for one of our most technically messed up shows, but somehow, as always, we managed to pull something out. Thanks to John's perseverance, thanks to Mark's observations, and thank you for sticking with us. I'm not sure I would have stuck with us. I was ready to leave at 10 minutes to 7.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much. We'll also let you know that this show has been brought to you by Lee's Family Trailer Sale
in Windham, Maine.
Route
302 in the Lakes region.
Route 302 in Windham, Maine. And you know what? Even if you don't want to buy a trailer or a camper or whatever, they've got one of the biggest stores up there. And they've got a great service department. I know a couple years ago, Memorial Day weekend, we were up in Maine and my batteries decided to not work anymore. And they were closing on Saturday noon. I called about 10 or 12. I was a half hour away. They said, we'll stay open for you. And I did, and they put 2 new batteries in. It worked out great.
Great dealership. All right. Jessica will give you the last word, and I apologize for the inconvenience.
No worries. I thank you both so much for having me on, and anything that I can do to help you all, I really appreciate it. Anything I could do, just let me know.
All right. We'll put your contact information down there also. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. We will see you next week. Hopefully I'll have everything restored and backed up and ready to go. So we will see you down the road. Good night now.
Have a great night, everybody. Thanks so much.
You may be entitled to substantial compensation.